The Sailor Jimmy podcast is brought to you by our friends over at Rooftop Solutions. Steven Smolko and his team are the best in the roofing business. Give us a call at 832-512-5758. Again, that's 832-512-5758. Welcome to the Sailor Jimmy podcast, your one-stop shop for raw takes on current events, sports, news, and everything in between. Inspiring people to chase their dreams, share their success stories, and find joy in life. Now, here's your captain at the helm, U.S. Navy veteran, Jimmy Rogers.
Well, hello there, everybody, all you shipmates out there. Welcome into another episode of the Sailor Jimmy podcast. And before we get started, apparently, I'm going to have to explain the rules. The rule number one, you don't talk during the intro, Beth. Okay.
Strike one.
Anyways, how's everybody doing out there? We have a really fun episode planned today. We've actually already started having fun before we even started rolling the tape today, talking about a lot of stupid stuff, fun stuff, a lot of sexual talk. This group likes sexual talk. Anyways, I'm going to bring on today's... Oops, I shouldn't have done that. I'm going to bring on today's guest and co-host, Miss Caitlyn Warren, who you've seen on the show many, many times. She's back in the studio co-hosting. Our guest today is the founder, CEO, owner, all of the above of RACS, Texas Refrigeration, AC. You guys have heard me say his name a million times. He's always around me. Douglas Vaughan. Doug, welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm going to need you to stop spinning and hitting the table because, like, you know.
No, I'm sorry.
He's nervous.
We have a
I'm
fun.
not nervous. I'm just.
We have a fun group today, and we have one more person here who's really, really annoying.
Wow.
But we felt bad for her, so we let her on the show today. I'm just kidding.
They needed more viewers.
Honestly, the reason I brought her name, her real name is Dallas Wilson. She's my secretary at Valor Entertainment, but you might know her from TikTok as Beth. So Beth, welcome to the show. The only reason you're here today, I told you I would tell you why you're here today, is because you had a video go viral.
I did.
Other than that, like, I would never have you on here.
Wow.
True story, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm
Wow.
kidding. That's how we treat each other. I don't know.
It is how we treat each other, and I'm okay with it.
I don't know any other way to treat you except rudely. So.
Yeah, but I like it.
Kind of persona.
Yeah.
What?
It's kind of like that persona now.
Yeah. She, so Beth was at the gala, the Butcher Trips gala this past weekend, and she had all these new people coming up to her saying, "Hey, are you that Beth girl from TikTok?" And they wanted pictures with her, and
They wanted to hug me because they felt bad the way you treat me. Yeah.
Well, basically, I made you famous, so I can't be treating you too bad.
Wow. He didn't have that much followers until he put a video of me up there. So anyways, works out, I guess. You need me and I need you to sign my checks. That's about
Let's
it.
see. You're 47?
Look, we.
Whoa, where do we bring a
discussing my
woman's
age
age
here?
into question?
Wow.
Because I'm saying you've been talented your whole life, and nobody discovered you until me. Oh. So I saw something in you. I saw a talent, and I decided to, create your character so that you could be super famous one day, more famous than the Sailor Jimmy, and make a lot of money.
Yeah, but he still gets a percent because he started it. So that's still, I mean.
This is just another American male trying to take the power and advantage of a female that is doing well, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Okay?
Wow.
And like I said before, luckily, I'm very confident in the way I look, my size. I don't, I'm my own person. I don't try to fit in. But these people on there, they're like brutal. Like, put the fork down. She's not built for thin ice.
Oh my God.
I mean, she's got one people said, yeah, he has to put a tracker on her like I put on my trucks because she's built like a truck. I'm like, Jesus.
These people are spicy, huh?
She does have tough skin.
I do.
So
it don't hurt my
You
feelings.
have to. You'll learn as you get famous.
You have to have tough
Everybody's going to want a piece of that.
As I get famous, I mean, I did a porn, so that's pretty famous too.
Cut.
With your dad.
She's a Kim Kardashian.
How come that wasn't in the resume?
What?
Why wasn't that in the resume?
Yeah. Why was that?
didn't you
I didn't
see
see anything on your resume about doing more
First
than
off,
hiring.
you
how do
see
we
your
know
dad-
how
your
Jimmy
dad
made her
was like-
apply for the job?
His dad, I supposedly met his dad for the first time at the event this past weekend, and I was like, "You don't know." So
Wow.
I call him Senior.
Josh, did you hear that?
He hears everything. Taking a shot.
Anyways,
Oh my God, this is the
just
tequila.
in true Beth fashion, having to talk about herself. No, I'm kidding.
In all honesty, let's get the record straight. In the very beginning, when I first met Jimmy several years ago, I could not stand his ass for nothing. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the way he looked, that he smiled, his stupid bow ties that he would wear to his birthday party. I'm not even sure exactly. I don't know what it is, but I just did not like him. And I was not a fan of his. And then he grew on me. And I'm like, ugh. And now I don't think we can. I am going to say it. I don't think we can live without each other. Let's put it that way. Because
Well-
we even each other out.
I did read that he said that he couldn't live without
He
you.
did say that,
Was
yeah.
that a true statement?
I said in my last podcast with Taya Kyle that there was a lot of people around me that made me successful, and I wouldn't be where I am or be as successful without you guys. And Dallas was one of them. But I can name a lot of people. I can name Doug as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot of people that help make me successful and who I am. So it's very humbling.
Yeah, but
including
you're
all
also a
of
great
y'all.
mentor.
Yeah. And, with you, Dallas, it's just been one of those things where you get me, you understand me. You know when it's time to have fun. You know when it's time to be serious. And I can let loose a little bit and be myself, and I don't have to walk on eggshells and be careful what I say to you because you just get me. You understand that when I'm joking and when I'm serious.
Right. Like this morning, you were serious.
Yeah. We'll come back to some of that stuff later. I want to have a little fun with you guys. So I usually do, and Caitlyn, you know this, you're on the show a lot. We usually do rapid fire. But today we're going to do a segment called, I just named it Fun Questions because I didn't really think too hard about
Real
it.
complex, smart like,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I wasn't, spending a lot of time on the rundown, so that's what came to mind. So Doug, since you're the guest of honor today, we're going to lead off with you, and we come up with some fun questions. So everybody has been on a plane ride before, right? You just had a plane ride. We've all rode on a plane. What's more annoying, the guy on the plane who's, as soon as the plane lands and you roll up to the freaking, what do they call that?
Tarmac.
The tarmac, and you hear the thing go beep, and the doors open, and they're like jumping through the aisle. You're supposed to wait your turn, but the person like runs up the aisle because he's trying to catch his connection or
first
not,
one.
or wants to be the first one off the plane, and it's super rude. Yeah. Who's worse, that guy or the guy who takes a crap on the plane?
What?
Who takes it, the guy or the girl who takes a crap
you
on the
can't
plane?
fault the guy.
Definitely the guy that runs.
You can't fault the guy because he's got to poop on the plane.
Or anybody
have
that
to
has
be
to put
really-
on a
That's true. Guy or
Because of
girl.
a big
We all
guy,
poop.
and that little,
Yeah.
it's like a fat guy and a little too, right? But that guy that runs down the aisle.
And wait. Do you know how tough it is to actually be a big person to go into a small space like that and then try to wipe your ass?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You
You
have
have
to
to be
literally maneuver like your hands. One hand's here, one hand's back here.
It's
like
hard enough to pee.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I can appreciate
I
that
don't know
because
how
even
people
for
do
a
Mile
small
High.
petite woman, it's still really hard.
yeah.
Like I never really understood the Mile High Club.
That's what I was just saying. How could you sit there and like?
Why would you
get
want
after
to?
it?
The way those bathrooms smell, and I've flown first class many times. It's still,
It's like an RV.
yeah, it's like
Bathroom
RV.
on an RV.
Well, I mean, it's more like you have to be super desperate, right? You can't just like, oh, I need to take a crap, so I'm gonna go take a crap on the plane.
Oh,
like,
I thought you meant desperate.
You're
to
like-
have
you're
sex.
like-
I was
you're-
like,
no, no,
wait
no.
a minute.
well, that too, because some
That's
of you
like
are.
a fantasy, though. Like I don't think
taking
that's
another shot.
desperation. If you
But-
can get someone to
To
have
take
sex
the
with you
crap
on
on
an
the
airplane,
Seriously though, if you're on
They
the plane,
love
right, and
you.
you feel like it coming on, you get a little turtle head going, whatever.
Oh.
You're like, man, I need to take number 2, but the plane's landing about in 30 minutes to an hour. Like I'm gonna hold off. Like at what point are you just like, man, I can't hold it anymore.
Well, you
I
gotta
gotta
think
go.
about that guy that
I gotta go
runs
drop this deuce right now.
You got to think about that guy that runs down the aisle and makes everybody else hold up. Like,
No, but you got to
Maybe
think
he's
about
running
the
down the aisle because he
person
needs to poop.
maybe so.
that has the first seat by the laboratory. The first seat comes. As soon as you open that door, they
you
smell
out.
shit.
You're out.
What if you're next in line after that dude?
Then you just say, "Hey, excuse me, I just took a shit."
Well,
So you're just straight up and real.
Nobody does that though.
But listen, if the world would revolve around that instead of you going in the restroom, right, and you're taking a shit, and women walk in, ooh, it freaking smells in here already. Bitch, you know you're fixing to take a shit too.
Why don't we just put poopery or something in all of those bathrooms, right?
Well, at the cook-off, and we do that. We put a whole little station in there with wipies and sanitizer and poopery spray and all that, because it gets pretty wild in those at the cook-off. In the porta potties.
That's
Doug,
a whole different podcast. Right
but back to you, Doug. What is more annoying to you?
the guy that runs down the aisle.
Yeah, I think that's so disrespectful.
I agree.
Like I'd put my arm out, like.
So
I just wait.
not to make this a serious podcast, but just to give different perspective. What if this person has extreme claustrophobia or some type of autism?
Well, yeah, you're right. You can't. It's hard to judge people.
Of course. So I like to laugh and I like to have fun, but putting in perspective.
I would personally never say anything.
Of course.
And I've literally waited for people behind me to go because they look like you're in a hurry and I'm not. So
it's like at the movies. People are trying to rush out, and they really don't realize you just sit there a little bit longer, you're going to miss.
There's no rush.
You miss so much stuff.
I'm sorry. There's nothing more annoying than somebody that's trying to skip the line down the plane alley just because, for no reason at all, except for their own selfishness.
Of course.
The guy talking about skipping a line, you skipped everybody at the movie theater when we went to go see Top Gun.
Who, I did?
Yes, because Gordon Pete was already standing in line. So you're like, oh, yeah, I'm coming. You skipped 13 people. Just
there was nobody there. Okay,
this is gonna be a debate.
Okay, movie theater versus airplane. First of all, if you're let's just say your boyfriend or wife's in line and you went to the restroom, you don't have to go to the back of the line. You go back to where your boyfriend or girlfriend is. Like that's where your family.
So Gordon Pete was your boyfriend or girlfriend?
You took the words out of my mouth.
Yes.
Well, I was in the Navy for 4 years.
Here comes the Navy joke.
Gordon, I apologize for this episode in advance.
We love Gordon.
Sorry, Gordon.
Sorry, Gordon.
Beth over there is just trying to stir the pot. That's all she's trying to do. But no, I do not cut lines.
Of what?
I don't stand in lines.
Yeah,
That's
he
what
has
I
me
have
do it.
Yeah. That's what I have you for.
Wow.
Look,
Wow.
everybody needs that friend that will do it for you, okay?
Sure, absolutely.
I'll tell one of the best stories ever. When I was in France, we were at Versailles, and we didn't realize that you had to sign up ahead of time, right? Dumb Americans. I'll go ahead and blame it on that.
Sign up ahead of time for
But
what?
to get in line to see Versailles.
Okay.
So it's where, the prince and princesses of France lived at one point, the kings and queens. So it's their palace, but it was a 5.5 hour wait. When you're a tourist there, you may not have 5.5 hours to wait. Sure. I had that friend that cut the line, right? So, everybody needs that at some point.
Yeah.
I wasn't proud of it. I was the one that was like, I'm deaf with all the people around. Apologizing, asking for peace, but.
I don't know about you, but I'm super impatient. Like, I hate waiting in lines. I hate waiting in traffic. Like, everybody who knows me, it's close to me. They know how impatient I am.
Do you cut in traffic?
I will cut through a parking lot.
Yeah.
You will cut through a parking lot to what? Beat a line? Or what do you mean cut through a parking lot?
Well, there's like a lot of people at like a four-way stop. Mm-hmm. If I'm turning right and it's a gas station on the corner, I'll cut through the parking lot because I don't know where they're going.
Well, if a cop sees you doing that, he can pull you over.
Yeah, we can give you a ticket for that. That is correct.
But that would be petty.
I'm 47 years old. I've never been pulled over for that.
Let's knock on that wood, people. Knock on that wood.
Well, I know.
If I see a cop, I'll stop and get a drink or something.
He pulls into the gas station, thinks he's gonna skip through the gas station. All of a sudden, he looks up. There's a cop right there. He pulls over.
He's like, I'm gonna get some gas. I just filled up, but I'm gonna get some.
I'm not even gonna talk about what happens with me.
That's the way. That's the way to do it. The next question. Make sure you guys also talking to your microphones and.
Wow. That has to go on the show.
You're
welcome.
You need to talk into your microphone because when I watch it on TV at night to fall asleep, I'm gonna hear this. Am I right?
This is what you listen to fall asleep.
This is when I'm in bed. Like when I'm winding down and I'm ready, I watch whatever the latest podcast is.
Awesome.
Can you say the Sailor Jimmy podcast, please?
The Sailor Jimmy podcast.
You don't just watch any podcast.
Is that better, Beth?
I've never watched any podcast until I met you.
Wow.
Mine's bigger than yours.
I think what's fun about today's podcast, and I think where I'm at mentally, is that I had a good conversation this weekend with, I won't say his name, but basically, what's that mean? Dougie's like, I can only imagine who.
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, in my profession, I'll call it my profession, my career, occupation, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes you have to protect who you are because of what you do. Yeah. And I kind of expressed this to one of my mentors and somebody that I really trust. And he said, I think you should just, you know, open up a little bit and just truly be you, even in front of the camera. I said, because I think the people that are following you and the people that are around you, like almost all of them have the same like type of viewpoints, whether it be politically or any of that type of stuff. So I'm at a point in my career where I think I've accomplished enough that I just want to be me.
You want to be authentic?
And I want to have good conversation. Am I a professional? Can I be professional? Can I get in a tuxedo and have a good time and run a business? Yes, but I can also have fun behind the scenes. And one of the guys that I hung out with this weekend is the vice president of Advanced Auto Parts, and like he got to see a different side of me this weekend. We had a really good time together, and just being able to open up with you guys and have a little fun and not be so got to watch what you say all the time. It means a lot. So I'm having a lot of fun doing this.
There's a whole new meaning to a relationship. You know, there's a whole different side of everything.
Sure. And I think like a lot of people in my position or in being a business owner, sometimes you're always having to watch how you act, watch what you say, watch what you do, which there is a fine line, right? But you can also have fun. We can all have fun in life and enjoy ourselves. So I think that's what we're doing today. So whoever's watching out there or listening, don't take it all too seriously. We're all just having fun and a good time. And so I wanted to get that off my chest.
Hey, and I am built for thin ice. By the way, just depends on where I step and how I step around it. Okay, so
I won't. No comment.
Yeah, no comment. Pretzels.
Pretzels, man. Look at these arms.
No, we're not talking about
to know what that
the
means.
legs. So he made a post working on my legs, and I'm like, there's nothing ever going to fix those pretzels, no matter what. Now he has been hitting the gym really hard, and I have seen his body improve, but there's no the legs. There's no hope. He needs to just get sponsored by Twizzler and have a commercial.
So what about my butt though?
Twizzler, we will be hitting you up.
Yes, you do. You was on Snapchat talking about look at his butt.
That's just to get you more followers. That's
okay, good. I'm so glad you're not looking at my butt.
Yeah, that's
He does have a nice butt.
No.
Doug should have a nice body. Cheers. Bros got to stick together.
Yeah, but there's another thing too. Like a lot of people don't understand how a female and a male can absolutely be the best of friends and never have any interaction.
Oh, are we going to talk about this on this podcast?
Well,
because
we can.
I was the only female on the last podcast where they said girls and guys cannot be friends. And I said, actually, I have a lot of guy friends. Hey, Sean Day, my best friend. He's been my best friend for a long time.
Whoa, hold on. We'll come back to that later in the segment.
Okay, go ahead.
But listen, I will say, just to touch on that real quick, just to tease them, we said that about men. We didn't say that about women.
That's
we
true.
said that men could. We said men that
I'm defending
have best
Sean
friends
on that end, right? Yeah. I am his best friend, and
okay, right? But there's always an exception to every rule. But for the majority, like if your wife said if she had like 2 or 3 male best friends, like come on, like
sure,
we know as men, like especially if your fiance is beautiful, right? So
thank you.
Anybody's gonna be like.
So Jimmy's already hitting on her, so that was the proof of men.
We're not best friends though. Like we're just associates. I know her through Doug, and like I see her and hang out with her with Doug. Like I don't call his wife. So it's okay
if you're not
hey.
friends to be attracted to a female, but if you are friends.
Somebody asked, "What am I drinking? What is in this?"
I don't know.
Tea.
MB rolling.
Tea because
MBO's rolling.
Not like
what
tea.
Is it?
MB rolling.
I peed in it.
It's potty water, y'all.
Vitamins and minerals.
Look, let's get into that conversation. What I want to do today though is
this is one of my favorite questions. Always like this question you're gonna ask.
I'm gonna ask you guys. I want one word responses. Okay, I'll start with Caitlyn. Then we'll go to Doug. Then you, Beth. If you won the lotto, Caitlyn, what's the first thing you would buy?
Peace on earth.
That
was totally
you can't buy
like
that.
That's like
I'm sorry.
Like
I felt like I was put on the spot, like I'm gonna win Miss America. Peace on earth.
Vote for me.
Okay, what is the first thing I'm gonna buy? Like personally, or like actually do?
Like a materialistic thing.
Okay,
And
materialistic.
it can be for family or for yourself.
Okay.
Or anybody.
Probably a house.
Can't go wrong with that. What about you?
That's not a one-word answer for me.
Okay, that's right.
I would want the house as well, right? I would want to set money back for my kids.
Same.
And then pay off my bills and my friends' bills.
That's exactly where I was gonna go. I want to pay off everyone in my family's debt.
If you want $100 million, right?
Yeah.
How much would you allocate to your friends, family, and other people just to like pay off their bills or help them out?
I'd give them each $1 million and tell them you figure that out. That's it.
But how many people?
I got too
is
many
that?
friends for that.
Yeah, he'd be
Screw
broke.
that.
I don't.
I feel like $100 grand's a nice gift.
Yeah,
even
absolutely.
$50,000.
I think I told y'all like I'm super single. That means in like every aspect. I have very little friends in my
this
life.
week.
Tune in next week for the next special.
Okay, so we're friends, right? We're friends.
Of course.
So what if I did win the lotto and I just said, hey, Caitlyn, Jimmy, Beth, let's go to dinner. I got something to tell y'all. Y'all had no idea, and I just gave you a check for $100K.
I think I would cry. I think I would really cry. I know Jimmy would cry too.
I would cry.
I'd be pissed because I want more if you want $100 million.
Wow.
Oh, but we're
No,
having,
I'm kidding.
but we're having a good party too, though.
Realistically, I think I'd tell you I can't take this, Doug. Like I appreciate it, and I love that we have like been that close since we've met. Because truthfully, I would take care of y'all too. But I think just
I'm a
because
giver.
of who I am.
I'm a giver.
Yeah.
I like to give. I like to help people, and I think,
True.
That's how you've had Laura stay with you for so long, huh?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, I mean, since nobody's gonna ask me,
that shit cost me a lot of money. That's fine. I know that.
if I won the
was talking
lotto,
more like other action.
I'm just way over
but
here
yeah.
by myself. I mean, it's fine.
Go ahead, Beth.
I'm just paying
Go
attention.
ahead.
Sorry, it's your turn, Beth.
Your turn.
The first thing I would buy, I
Nobody
said this
cares.
earlier, I would buy a cow.
A cow?
A cow.
A whole cow.
Why?
Why? Because I'm fixing to prepare for the party of my life, and we're gonna slaughter that cow, and it's gonna feed all my people.
Oh, okay.
That's the dumbest answer ever.
Whoa!
Because I'm bringing everybody
It's
to
not
this
your
party.
answer.
Who the hell buys a cow when you win the lotto?
Hey.
Oh, I won the lotto. Let's go buy a cow.
So I'm
Hey,
it was
I'm
really
inviting
special.
you have some bulls right now.
I grew
Yeah,
up.
but-
Wouldn't you want
I
someone to
grew up
buy
in the country.
yours?
Well, yeah,
And we had parties.
Okay.
but I
We
would
had
be the
field parties.
first thing I buy.
And we would-
Not
we
you,
would
but somebody
slaughter a
else.
pig, and we would
Obviously,
roast the
Beth's
whole damn
answer's a
pig
cow.
Yeah.
at the party, and that was like the coolest thing, right? Like
But I mean,
we
I
cooked
would,
the whole pig. The
I
entire
would
pig.
get a whole, I'd get a whole cow. And
Hey, one
like,
at a time. Okay, one at a time.
One at a time.
whole cow, whole cow. Because I'm a party person, and that's when I would announce to everybody what has happened, and it would only be special invitation.
Okay, nobody
Because
cares.
you have those friends.
Yeah.
You have your best friends, you have your friends, and then you have those acquaintances, and then you have those people who pretend to know you and to know everything about you, but behind the scenes,
Like you
they're.
with me.
Oh, with the 100 grand, 100 million, you're gonna have a lot more of those.
Oh
too.
yeah, of course.
You're me today.
Yeah.
You're getting those sharp comments in.
It's fine. I mean, I'm like his human piñata. He can't hit nothing else in real life. So
Oh,
yes.
wow.
And
She
I'll
gets
take a
you
drink on that.
good. Like, I'm really enjoying this
Dun-dun-dun.
relationship.
Yeah.
I need to come around more. What about
Right,
you, Doug?
you do. Yeah.
But you know, the thing of it is there's always a story behind every relationship. And if I could learn from anybody to be a better person, to achieve more things in my life that I want to achieve, to become a better person, he would be the person I would follow.
Oh, God,
And I
please
didn't
don't say
think
this
about
right
that
now.
in the beginning.
I'll drink
You
to that.
just built the
Cheers.
fluffiness.
Yeah,
I'll
and
drink
I
that.
never thought about that
the
in the
truth comes
beginning
out, y'all.
because I didn't like him.
No,
You know,
I'll
there
cheers
were
to
so
that
many
too.
people saying so many bad things about him, and I said to myself, you know what? I don't take other people's word for it.
What were they saying?
Well, let's see.
You have pretzels for legs.
Yeah, pretzels for legs. No,
They
but
said-
on the serious side, it was just
He's
you know
really,
like
really, really ridiculous.
trying to go into before he had Valor Entertainment or anything. It was just all Boots for Troop stuff.
Correct.
And it was just, what is his end goal? Like, does he actually have this? Does he actually take time and
Build
put
it.
good stuff in these care packages and all these things? So when it actually changed my life, like seriously changed my life, is when I did my first care package.
Yeah.
And that was in December at Sawyer Park. And I read on there, and what I was reading.
Was that for Cody Hibbard's thing, or
No,
was
that
that,
was-
before?
That was a
Christmas
Christmas
party.
party.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was a Boots for Troops Christmas party.
Because I know that's where y'all originally met, correct?
No, we
Oh.
actually originally met. It was before it was
Mental
249.
No, I was singing at Cody's concert, right? Because
No.
you were
Oh,
at the
my
table?
birthday 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, his birthday, Cody Hibbert was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
when
Okay.
we officially like
We had talked about it
spoke.
on a podcast
yeah,
one day,
that's when we
right?
officially like
Something
spoke.
that.
But we had known each other before that because I had sent him my number about helping with something. He goes, "What's this for?" And I'm like, in case you ever need anything, dude. Like, I ain't trying to hit on you. You're not my,
He's like, do you know how many people?
Here's my number on it.
I don't do gingers.
Call me.
I was like, I don't know. I was like,
they don't have souls. Is that why?
I was like, who are you messaging your number?
Yeah, why are you bothering me? But I mean, and I've also changed a lot of things about myself. When he said, hey, I'm going to give you this job, but this is what I expect from you. I said, can I have 24 hours to think about it? Because you're asking a lot from me, and especially not to be fighting. Because I love to fight. Oh my God, I love to get into brawls. I just love it. But that was one of the things. He's like, that's a big part that you're not going to be able to do. You're going to have to calm down, and you're going to have to grow up, basically. And if you want this job, I think you'd be great at it, but this is what you're going to have to do. So I have very big, high expectations for myself, and I get down on myself when I feel like I haven't done enough.
Right.
And that's why at the Clay Walker, I never sat down, because I wanted him to know that I do take this very seriously. I don't are joking to the side or whatever. He has so many things. I was wondering, like, we would be texting, right, for instance, and he wouldn't respond back for days. I'd send him a message, I hate you. I can't stand you. You know, like, fuck off, basically, is what I would tell him. And I have to take a shot because I said fuck.
and another one because you said it again.
But when I got here in the office, I realized how many people are reaching out, how many people are saying things, how many people want his attention. And I looked at him and I was like, I don't know how you've done this. I really don't. I don't know how you've done this by yourself. And that's not trying to pull anybody's string, or that's not trying to put him on a freaking cloud, or I don't have to kiss his ass. Yeah. I've already proven my friendship to him, and I've already proven my worth. Like, people want to hire me already because he speaks good of me. Yeah. I mean, Brian McGinnis said he would start a company just for me to run it if you ever fired me.
I recognize your talent, and you know what? I like to see people succeed. And part of who I am is I was once like, nobody would give me a chance to be successful. And I know when somebody just needs that chance and that support and the resources to say, okay, you have all the skills you have the talent. Now here's the resources. Let's go do your thing. Let's make you successful. I like making people successful. It's part of like what I enjoy in life.
I honestly think that's why we're all four at this table, though. Mm-hmm. I think, like, we all know each other and we're acquaintances in certain ways, but each of us actually know each other very differently than how.
Well, it's weird because I knew him before I even.
Who's him?
Dougie.
Okay, listen. They are listening on a podcast.
I know Dougie.
Okay, so when you say him, they think you're talking to me or something. So
this is what we have to do.
So I'm training with you. We're doing training right now. Okay. Just kidding. Go ahead.
So you've known Doug.
Yes, sir, Daddy.
He's also
known as Daddy.
He's he's also known as the cool guy.
The cool guy. Yeah. But I actually worked. One of my bosses was his cousin. That's how I actually originally met Dougie. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very cool.
So
see, it's such a small world because everybody's connected in very different ways, right? So when Jimmy says, "Oh, so you know each other because of me," we can all say nope.
But I have met a lot of
lies.
No, but I've met a lot of fantastic people and built really, really good relationships with a lot of people that I've met through him.
Of course.
But it has taken me time. I mean, it took me 2.5 years just to get an appointment. So.
Hey, you know what?
You're working with him.
Go ahead, Doug.
I needed a guy to do my apparel.
Yeah.
And my buddy John Mercer, I'll give him a shout out, right? It's all cookers. My buddy John was like, "Hey, call Jimmy." I didn't call Jimmy. I've never been to Boots for Troops office. I'm sitting outside on Wright Road, and I'm like, "Is this the right place?" He's like, "Yeah, come on down." So I sat in his office an hour. I guess we were there an hour, and. It's like, when two people connect, they connect. And it's just, there's nothing you can do about it. So, we all, like you said, we all have the same end goal. We're givers. We love people.
Just like Kyle said, God has a hand in everything. Mm-hmm. God has that hand on that door, and it's up to you to open it. Sure.
I still remember the first day that Doug came to the day you're talking about. You rolled in, and there wasn't really an appointment set. I think you just kind of showed up, and you called, and I was like, "Yeah, come down the driveway." And we had an initial conversation, and you had dealt with somebody before me, and maybe it didn't go the way you wanted it to. But I never knew from that when I met you that day, I knew that you were a really cool and genuine person, but I never knew that our friendship would grow into what it is today. But that took you and me both watering that friendship, and kind of like a lot of people will get business from somebody. Just be a business relationship, where I truly believe in taking the time to get to know the people that come around me, And when they're helping me be successful, I owe it to them to know their family, know their life outside their company. And it's not always, I don't always just reach out to Doug for a sponsorship or when I need something. Like, we have a true, genuine friendship. We talk about other things, about working out, about life, about, and I've learned that that's what people want. They want to feel a part of. Connected. Yeah. I'm not going to just take Doug's money for a sponsorship and then not talk to him until I need the next sponsorship.
Sure.
And I think that he sees how hard that I work, and I get my team to work to say, hey, like, we make sure we're taking care of our sponsors. Mm-hmm. And I think you've benefited from the relationship. I've definitely benefited from the relationship personally, and like, not just from a business standpoint, but from a just professional development, personal growth, and all that stuff with you. So that's why we have you on the speaking of Doug and sponsorships, like, you've been so supportive of this podcast. You've sponsored every season. You're one of the reasons that we're still, doing the podcast. You're one of our top sponsors, and without you, like, we may not be still doing this podcast. So
thank you, Doug.
I mean, can I just ask you, were you horny when you came up with like Texas RACS? Because I just looked at it right now and it's like titties.
Yeah. So funny story. My dad, growing up, I worked for my dad. It was Allied Texas Air. And if I had a nickel for every time I got called about a bank, Allied Texas, I mean, wow, really? Yeah. So when my brother had a company in Tomball, Pinehurst actually, and it was called RST, it's the Refrigeration Systems of Texas, and nobody ever remembered that, but his website, his email, everything said RST, and everybody knew what RST was. That shit was plastered on everything. So when I came up with my company, I wanted something cool and formal that I could sell maybe one day. So the Texas Refrigeration was born, right? But on the other side of that, nobody is.
He was horny.
Well, maybe a little.
He's always horny. He's a man.
Flora. But
business is euphoria.
Well, it is. But ultimately, nobody is more proud of Texas than if you're from Texas.
Of course,
right?
Sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
So Texas was an absolute must.
Why I'm so proud of Pittsburgh.
Nobody cares.
We'll talk about that.
You're 100% right though. When it comes to Texas,
Yeah.
they like, even in the military, people know, like, the most prideful people in the military are the people from Texas. Like, we're always bragging.
But that's
about
all around the world, right?
Sure.
Every country you're in, they may not know every state in the U.S., but they know Texas.
I grew up my whole life deer hunting, hunting pigs, turkeys, chickens. I mean, whatever.
Hunting pigs this weekend.
And so the RACS, right? That ultimately, so the only problem that I look back now is I have a ladder rack on my truck, right? And the guy that lives in my neighborhood is RACS for the road. Oh. He's a great guy. I love him to death. If you need a RACS for the road. But he has an F-150 and he's got the ladder rack on his truck.
Okay, wait.
And
RACS for the road?
Yeah.
That's what the other companies call it.
Super great guy. He put the ladder rack on my truck.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and you look at my truck and you look at my logo and you think, oh, RACS, like the truck racks, and that's the only problem.
Yeah.
But
I get it.
His truck is kind of similar to mine. The logo is completely different, but I wanted the red, white, and blue. That's what I wanted.
Absolutely, yeah.
Patriot.
It's very American.
How old were you when you started the business?
So legally or illegally?
You can be legally one age and illegally the other.
Well,
Yes, have a license,
so I wasn't
right?
licensed. I started Texas Refrigeration in about 2007.
Okay.
And I just I did work here and there under my dad's license, and then when my dad passed, it was hard. I worked under my brother's license.
Gotcha.
I didn't do that much work. I just kind of helped friends and family out. That's all I did.
Right.
And so, and honesty, integrity, it just grew. And one day I got a job, and I went to my brother, and I was like, whoa. There's no way, dude. Holy, I can't do that. I don't have the time or the money to do that.
You didn't have the working capital to buy all the stuff
absolutely
you
not.
need. Yeah.
I mean, we're talking.
That's always an interesting scenario in a new business.
We're talking about a $200,000 job, right? I can't even buy one of the machines, much less 10 of them.
It's like, how do you pass up that opportunity, though, right?
Right.
Because my brother had the same thing happen to him.
Right.
He's like, man, I got this bid for this job. It's like,
over his head.
Yeah.
And so how do you go borrow the money or what?
So my brother had sold his company.
Right? You got to do what it does.
And said, I'm going to help you. and you're going to get your license.
That's
so
awesome.
He did, and I ultimately went to the guy and said, bro, I need help with this. And he's like, give me a number, I'll write you a check.
Yeah.
And he literally paid half down for every job, and I was able to do it all, and the Cinderella story, right? It all wrapped up from there, and so I built a great relationship with the guy. I'm still friends with him today, and he was my first real. I mean, that was my first job over $100,000.
Yeah. That's great.
And it was $200,000. So
I love it. I love those kind of stories.
Me too.
Sure.
You never know with any business what the story behind the history of how it got started,
where it originated.
I mean,
sure.
People always think. I don't know. We've had this conversation many times. Like successful people in business sometimes get looked at differently. Like they're spoiled, or this guy just has a lot of money, or they've been just so lucky. I can promise you. One thing I can promise you. Anybody that's successful in business, they did not get lucky.
Right.
They worked hard. They had to go through sacrifices. They had to take a leap of faith, courage, roll the dice on a loan. Like there was no. All those people that are wondering and judging why that person has that success, and judging. You could do the same thing. You just don't have the balls. Excuse my language. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm being serious. Like some people were made for that. Yeah. They're made to roll that dice. They're made to take that gamble. They're okay with the consequences if it loses, and that's a very tough thing to do. Like, so
Laura's made the comment before about. She's like, you really work hard. I'm proud of you, whatever. But she's like, there's no fucking way. Like I need a guarantee. Like I got kids, exactly. I got insurance. I've got, and you just threw all your eggs in one basket and
that's what entrepreneurs do.
Yeah.
Like that's why there's entrepreneurs, and like you said, there's those people out there that need the guarantee. They got to have the for sure.
We have to have both, though. There's nothing wrong with either or.
You can't work in society without one or the other. Yeah.
And we really couldn't run a business if we didn't have people that said
I could have done half of what I've done without.
Now, what I do, a lot of it, I mean, when I'm talking about one part of my business, I am completely alone, right? So it all rides on me. Am I going to be committed? Am I going to work hard? Am I going to get my name out there? All of those things. But again, the ones where we have to have a team or a village or an army to create it, we have to have those people.
I mean, but don't you think that once you start to get your name out there, that like failure isn't an option? Like you try harder.
I think Jimmy
because
feels that way.
Yeah.
Not to speak for him.
Everybody feels that way.
I think anybody thinks failure is not an option, but the hard part from when you
don't want to let people down.
And once you become successful in business, some people, and I'm guilty of it, I've done it myself in periods of time. You ride that cloud of success, and you get a little off track.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to make your way back into the saddle or whatever, because it's like, man, I built such a brand and I have so many resources, so many things. Like I can just do whatever I want because people value me so much that like I'll recover or I'll figure it out. And as entrepreneurs, I think that's a battle sometimes within to say, like, no matter how successful you are, to stay on track, keep working hard, keep the same values. And then obviously, like you said, having to have the army of people and not being.
We got Jimmy to say Army, not Navy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Having the navy of people. Just kidding.
Take a drink.
The struggle I struggle with is getting the staff and the employees to think and operate the way my brain, the way how I want to, because
it's your vision.
I'm an all, like, when it's time to go, it's
You're
go
a robot.
time. It's go. Like, and I don't play, like, excuses don't sit well with me. Like, so having that compassion to the people that don't, like you said, you got the certain people and you got other people. And not everybody's going to be just like you. Nobody's going to love your business the way you love it.
You do love your business. Right.
So as much as you try to force it, it creates tension, and then you got to find the way to get the best out of your people. And everybody's different.
But when him saying that, like for me, communication is a very big thing.
Of course.
If a person cannot communicate, like earlier today, we were talking about his podcast and what I'm supposed to be advertising and putting on social media and stuff. I didn't know his expectations. She just said, "Hey, look, we're going to add this to one of your jobs, for you to do and take care of it." But for me, because that's something so personal to him, I'm like, what is it exactly that you expect me to do? Right. Because I don't want to put something on there that I'm not supposed to put on there. I don't want to talk about things that I'm not supposed to talk about, because this is something that you're building. This is your brand. So if I don't open up myself to hear his expectations, then I leave myself open for failure.
Right.
but it takes us to keep that drive going, because people don't understand, if he fails, I fail. Yeah. So he has a lot riding on his shoulder because he's paying my bills.
It's funny you say
and even
that.
if it's not saying he pays my bills, I'm working for him to pay my bills, but if he fails, so do I.
Yeah.
And so does Lindsay, and so does Shelby, and those are on opposite sides. They work for Boots for Troops, I work for Valor. So we all fail. And so not everybody understands how much is actually riding on his shoulders every single day. So when he disappears for a day and you don't hear from him, it's just he needs just that silence to himself. He needs to just get himself together, and he's the hardest critic on his own self. That's
true.
And that's upsetting to me because I'm so close to him now, and I see what he says, and it breaks my heart. But then I have to act like a tough bitch,
I think probably Doug could relate, and you probably could too. I think all entrepreneurs and all business owners are very hard on themselves. Mm-hmm. So it's not necessarily just, I would say, me. I think that sometimes we all got to take a step back and go have some time. Because I don't know about y'all as an entrepreneur, you can answer for yourself, Doug and Caitlyn, but I like to spend time in thought. Like, I like to be by myself and think things through, and like, okay, here's what we're facing. Here's what we're facing. Like, how do we what's the next step? And
let me ask you a question. What about, how do you work under pressure?
Me?
Yeah.
I love the pressure.
So it depends on, there's a lot of variables to that question for me. Like, it depends. Like, sometimes I'm really good, and sometimes I can always do better. Like, sometimes I'm not so good.
I thrive under pressure. Like, I want to be.
Some people
thrive
under
my back's against the wall,
and
like
some thrive under pressure, right? Yeah. So, like, I always take it back to, like, are you an athlete? Were you an athlete, right? What did you want from your coach? Did you want love and, that admiration and, you're doing so great? Or did you want someone to say, you could do this better? This is how you're going to
I had a coach in high school. His name was Coach Zarowski, and he was the meanest, the cruelest. Mm-hmm. He would get in your face, brother. His face would turn, bright red.
Well, I didn't want to grab it because I just,
He was my 8th grade, Caitlyn. He was my 8th grade football coach.
8th grade?
8th grade. And
you still remember him?
I learned more from him. And so we went to dinner one night. We were at Uncle Julio's right there on 99. Mm-hmm. And we ran into him. And I was starstruck. And Laura's like, golly, like, you never get starstruck. You hang out with all these people. And, like, you're 8th grade. That's who did it for you, that guy. And I was like, that was the guy. I mean, that was the guy. And he wanted... I just felt like he had that drive and that push, and it's like he pushed you to the very edge of the earth, and like you had to sink or swim.
Right.
I mean, and I just felt like I learned a lot from that guy, Coach Zarowski.
Somebody asked me a question.
Turn it, or it's just gonna
somebody asked me a question one day and said, if you could be anybody, who would you be? And I actually picked Barbara Bush. I picked Barbara Bush because who actually can marry a president and have a son that's a president and just be that mom and be that wife?
True that.
You're married and you raised a president of the United States.
Of course.
And just everything that she's done, that was always like, would you ever be starstruck? Like, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm starstruck because like I'm so cool.
Only in the last week or two.
You laugh, but I really love that answer, especially coming from a woman today.
I always say that, like, on my body it says, be your own kind of beautiful.
Absolutely.
And that's the way I feel. Like, it doesn't matter how you look, doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter. If you're not proud of yourself, no one else is going to be proud of yourself. Of and you've got to love your own reflection.
But see, that's the problem with this. I 100% agree with you. You have to love yourself, but that's where I feel like I want to change the world. Why is everybody so afraid to compliment each other and be nice and just like show appreciation, right? Like, I've found people ask me, what are some of your keys to success in life? And number one, it's
Dallas. Dallas is the key to success.
Hell no. No, I'm kidding.
Being from Houston, I can't repeat that.
Hashtag Beth.
We hate Dallas.
Hashtag Beth.
No, but I'm being serious.
Yeah.
Like, one of the most,
especially in Pittsburgh fan.
Yeah, that's true.
One of the things that I can't get across to people, no matter how hard I try. And y'all know me when I give my lectures, like I beat a dead horse because like that's how it was in the military. That's how we learned, is they just drove it into your brain till you would never forget it. But seriously, just appreciating each other and what we do, and the small things and the random texts and the random appreciations and thank yous. And for some reason, like I've ran across so many people in my life that are successful people, and have a huge team of people around them that make them successful. And they're so ungrateful and they're so unappreciative of those people. And I can, for the life of me, can understand it because my people know me, and I'm not afraid to say it. Whether you're on my committee, you work for me, whatever. I take care of my people. I go the extra mile. I'm not afraid to show them a little bit of appreciation in random times. Okay. And I wish just more of our society just truly understood how important that was.
Yeah.
And loving yourself is one thing, but everybody, I did a whole
stranger. It's different.
I did a whole paper on this in college, a whole research paper on every human being wants to feel appreciated. And if they tell you they don't, they're lying to your face.
Yeah.
Because if they don't get appreciated and they're working their tail off for you or whatever they're doing in life, if nobody ever says, hey, thank you, or we appreciate you, they think it does affect them. And the people that do feel appreciated and valued in business that work for you or work for me, they'll do a better job for you.
Sure, absolutely.
They'll always do a better job for you.
Absolutely.
And,
maybe that's where I should say thank you because a lot of people don't take me serious.
Well, a lot of people don't say thank you to me.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. But no, seriously, but I do. We talked about this on one of the shows, remember?
I could prove many texts, Jimmy, between us where I say thank you.
No, I know.
Where I tell you the love.
But I do think, and I'm not necessarily speaking for myself, I'm speaking for all CEOs and all leaders of companies. Because people may be like, oh, you're being a little baby. I don't really care what you think. Here's what I know, in that even though you're the CEO or the boss or a shift supervisor or a department head, if you're a subordinate, you can still tell your boss thank you.
You see
you
how
can
I pointed
still
at
hug
me?
your boss. You can still because we're humans too.
Yeah.
And we want to feel appreciated too, just like y'all should as well. It's all interconnected and it's all like a two-way street. Our responsibilities may be different within the company, but in the end of the day we're all human. And we should all love each other. I fucking go up to people that are on my board of directors that help me, whether it be Kenneth, JJ, anybody, and I hug them and I tell them thank you, and I do it to Doug. I do it to everybody. Like
and
I'm not afraid to do it.
You do say I love you a lot. You do, yeah. And those are people that you really, really appreciate.
I do too. I do too.
I just got told I love you a couple days ago, so I'm just barely on that level.
There's a difference between somebody that says that and you look at somebody in the eye and somebody that means it. Right. Yeah. There really is. You
know why? Because I've actually worked for a lot of nonprofit. Not saying worked for them, but volunteered for them. Spent my time. You
don't do shit.
Investing. Wow. Okay. And I will have to say that I've never had someone appreciate their volunteers more than he has. And again, I don't want anybody to think I'm sitting here trying to suck his dick because that's not the truth. I mean, I could fucking care less. Like, he's not going to make me or break me.
They call her Beth for a reason.
Yeah, he's not going to make me or break me. But I'm just saying this like it's the truth.
I've already made you.
God, please, Jesus, help! I'm about to turn this into a sermon. I'm about to light this room up on fire. I rebuke him in the name of Jesus. No, but I mean, it starts with you. If you consider yourself to be a leader, then represent who you want to be, and then everybody else will follow. If we don't know your expectations, then you can go fuck yourself. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. But true. If you're going to sit here and say, oh, hey, Dallas, you know what? You can't drink while you're working. But then you're over here drunk as fuck. How does that make an example for me?
You talking about right now?
No.
Okay.
I'm just saying he tells us volunteers before the meeting this weekend. He said, no one is to be drinking while they're volunteering for me because it doesn't ever end well. Yeah. And even when I feel like I still have to explain myself, like I literally had a beer like an hour left in the event, and I'm like, hey, look at Lindsay. I'm like, this is my first beer, like, because I don't know who's watching me, right. But it really sucks that there's a magnifying glass on every person who is in the spotlight. But you also have to remember, once you become something, you have to be something and stay that person. And don't lose your sense of mind of where you came from. When I met Cody Hibbard for the first time, I told him, I said, don't get lost in this industry, please. Right. Because you're so amazing and you're so genuine. The minute that you get lost, right? And he is, absolutely. Yeah. The minute that you get lost, people put you in a whole nother category. And then you start to lose that.
They do it anyways.
Huh?
They do it anyways.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, you
How
have
many times have y'all heard people talk crap about me and y'all come out and you're like, oh, this person said they had a problem with you. I'm like, I don't even know that person.
Yeah.
I don't even never met them. Don't know them. I'm having a conversation with them. Like,
but then it goes back to the old saying, if you don't have haters, and you ain't doing it right.
100%.
I mean, that's what it is.
And that leads to my next question for you. because this show was supposed to be about Tex RACS and we kind of got off track, but that's okay. We'll do another one.
That's a group we're in.
Tex RACS is always
That
around.
is the group we're in. I think you knew that being put together.
Right.
Yeah.
What kind of like what sets your business apart as an like we know there's a lot of AC companies, right? And
I don't want to be set apart.
Yeah.
I don't. I just want to be.
Well, can I say, before you get to, I want to say I want to give a real short, genuine this story right here will explain to you what kind of man Doug is. Doug with Tex RACS. He's sitting in the Tex RACS cool seat today.
Cool seat.
The cool guy. So Doug's done so much for Boots for Troops and Valor. I kind of make him the exclusive AC person of my network and what I do, right? And there's another guy that wanted to do a fundraiser for Boots for Troops who owns a AC company called Fire and Ice, Howie Buckley. And out of respect for Doug, like I just said, hey, Doug, like, you know, this guy reached out. He wants to donate 10% of sales for the summer. You know, obviously, summertime's super busy for you guys to Boots for Troops, but you know, like you're my guy. You're my AC guy. You've been with me. I'm going to be loyal to you. You know, is that okay? And like Doug was like, not only did he say that's fine because they were giving money back to the charity, and he kept the focus on the fact that we were, you know, giving money to the charity. It wasn't all about Doug and the AC business, but he even called up Howie or messaged him or commented on his Facebook and was like, "Thank you for, you know, helping with the charity cause." And
we were at Leslie's. Remember?
We were at Leslie's, and like he walked over and introduced himself, and like I can't tell you how many people I've worked with that are in the same industry together, and like they get mad. They're like, "Oh, why I gave you 10 grand to the Boots for Troops? Why are you letting this other company in the same industry like do something with Boots for Troops?" I'm like, first of all, it's a charity. How many AC companies or car dealerships give money to the Red Cross and people don't get mad at the Red Cross founder? I'm like, it puts me in such a bad situation. So I was very appreciative that you were like, hey, somebody's trying to give money to the cause. Like, and he was okay with it. And it just shows the man he is. Like, he's just a good dude, man. Seriously, like one of the best dudes I've ever
I have a
known.
lot of friends in the business. I do.
I can second that.
And I'll give them a flat out too. I don't want to be better than anybody else.
Yeah.
I just want to help the next guy. I want to make would you say you want to make the world a better place? You can only do that one person at a time. Right. That's it.
If I could have anybody else beside me when we're doing that virtual reality, like killing people thing.
Oh, that was cool.
Dougie,
as hell.
it was you. You're my partner for life, dude.
Seriously. That was the bomb.
There's enough to go around for everybody.
Yeah, there is.
Houston is so big, dude.
Yeah.
And so I've been in the AC business all my life. If you could ask me anywhere I'd want to live, it would be Houston or Florida. Yeah. That's it. There's nowhere else. And so, but there's so many people, there's so many customers, there's so many AC guys. Mm-hmm. Bro, I'll be the first one to tell you, if you've got an AC guy and he's good and he's loyal and he's honest, you better hang on to that dude because they are hard to find.
And I think that's with any contractor.
Oh,
like,
sure.
We find that a lot, right? That people, down to websites, like anybody you're paying for a service, like if you find somebody that's good and loyal, like
you stick with them.
I can't tell me dealerships would come up to me. Even on the golf course Friday at Margaritaville, it wasn't a dealership, but Renee Hopper, who's a good friend of mine, he's like, well, what if I give Miller Lite to get $50,000 to be the title sponsor of the concert in the country? I'm like, well, Moffitt and Planet Ford have been so loyal to me, I can't just cut them out. Like, 1 year commitment, is that worth? What if next year Miller Lite says, oh, we're out, and then I lost Moffitt and Planet that give, maybe they
so
only
much to you,
and maybe they only give 30 and 30, or 30 and 20 or whatever. But
and not only do they give, they even show up at the events.
It's just hard like a lot of people will take the money, but you always have to weigh like the relationship and the whole
the relationship that come with Moffitt is just
dude,
killer.
Are you kidding? Moffitt Services.
But you know,
those
I
are
bet
the best
with people
people.
like that.
Oh my God.
Like what you were saying with Doug, like if you took it to him and said, hey, this year, like I can get this type of sponsorship, I guarantee you they'd be like, I support it. And they support you.
We would find a way.
But we want some free Miller.
Well, right. They would probably say, look, what's
that.
the best solution here?
Of course.
Like, how do we keep Planet Ford, Moffitt, and Miller Lite all in it, right?
Right.
So
I think that's like how I look at things, right? Because I am a service provider. So when I go to people...
Oh, yeah? What kind of service?
Pretty much anything you need.
Funny story about Moffitt.
I'm A to Z.
Yeah.
I didn't cut you off, did I?
No, you're fine.
Funny story about Moffitt. Alan Jackson. I mean, not Alan Jackson.
Walker?
Tracy Lawrence.
Tracy Lawrence.
Tracy Lawrence. I had a VIP wristband to the
Moffitt
VIP
tent.
in front of the stage. Not the Moffitt tent, the other one. I'm in the Moffitt tent. And all night, had no idea. Had no idea.
I was going to say, I saw you over there.
It was
Wow, no wonder I didn't see you ever.
He was lost.
So something, I don't know, I took a picture with Roy or something, like later in the night, and Roy said something, and I was like, bro, I had no idea. He's like, bro, you come to so many events. If you didn't even buy a ticket, we'd have never known.
Now we know we have to get one of those monkey packs and keep you on like a leash. But
Everybody
you know what
loves
you said.
Doug,
But wait, I have to say this. You said there was enough to go around. Yes, there is enough of me to go around, people. So just love me. And you know what? Big is in.
Right?
Big is in.
Do you know how hard it's going to be to kidnap a fat girl?
Pick up
It's
the
going to be
fork.
real fucking hard. So
Pick up the fork.
yeah.
You know what else
Pick
is
up the
in?
fork, not put down the fork.
Yeah.
You know what else? You know what else is in?
Jimmy Rogers.
Having a lot of different massage therapists.
Wow, Deshaun Watson. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Deshaun
Yes.
Yeah.
Watson?
By the way, he settled 20 of 24 cases today.
Okay, that's what happened. I knew something
I know,
popped
but-
up.
24.
But what
I mean,
is
come
it?
on, 66 massage therapists. Seriously, I have only 45.
They do. Somebody does everything different.
I have a question for you on that topic.
No, I mean
Oh, Doug has a question.
I have a question
For me or Caitlyn?
for you. Well, for you too, because you're a sport. You too. So, 20 years ago, when you will never, ever, ever make me believe that Mike Tyson raped that woman. Never believe that.
I don't know the
There's-
facts surrounding that case.
There's money involved. She showed up at 3:00. There's always a story, money, fame.
He's the same guy who
guys.
believed that OJ didn't
So
kill
how
his
many
wife.
okay, I get it where there's like 25 of them or whatever, so that's a little weird.
But you're just saying one person out of the bunch.
but there's I
But
don't
you know
it's just
what?
weird
Hold
to
on.
me.
But wait, let me be the devil's advocate for this one. There's always that one person that you can't have. So it becomes that challenge. So what if it was that one person that he could not have, and it's that one bad night? That's why they have that show Snapped.
Who's that
Because
one person for you?
Cody Hibbard.
Cody's not married, so you're okay with
Cody
that.
is married.
married.
Oh, he is.
He's married to a beautiful woman.
He
They
is
have two
married.
children
I'm so
together.
sorry to say
Yes,
that. I
Cody
didn't
is married.
realize.
Cody is
Okay.
married. Yeah.
I don't know. She's just got her hands all over him. He don't have any clothes on. Like he's got money and fame and all this. It's just a weird story. And I'm not saying that's not
sometimes
true.
there's not people
I'm
that
not
are out for
defending
that thing.
I'm not defending Deshaun Watson in any way, but that's just weird to me. That's all
I
I'm
mean,
gonna-
you
that's all
just-
I'm
Well,
gonna
look. Before we wrap up, I'm just going to say this.
Before we wrap up, Jimmy did say he had 44 therapists.
No, that was a joke. Seriously, though.
I think he
But
said 45, actually.
Whatever.
I think that there's you have to look at the facts of the case, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion about it.
Of course.
Surrounded, but you have to look at the facts. The problem with society is, okay, 25 women said this,
But if you weren't guilty,
and
why would you
everybody
settle?
everybody that's making their own their opinion or public opinion about it has not read the facts of the case.
No.
What were the text messages like between this massage therapist? What were
Correct.
Did they reschedule multiple appointments after they accused him of so? Before you, only thing I can say is before you decide
Judge.
whether you think somebody is wrong or right, whether it's male or female, it doesn't really matter. Equal, we're supposed to be living in an equal society.
Sure, absolutely.
Everybody should deserve to be heard out, and and look at the facts. Don't just say because 25 people. Now, is it creepy? Yes, it's a little creepy to have that many, but it doesn't mean creepy doesn't mean sexual assault. And let's just be honest. The dude has a lot of money. He's a star
Yeah.
quarterback. Y'all can beat around the bush all you want. Be like, well, you're just
No,
blaming
and
the women.
I'm for
Hold
you
on,
on
let me
that.
finish.
I'm for you on
Let me
that,
finish. It doesn't matter. The problem with society is nobody wants to say what's the truth. The truth is that has a part. That plays a part.
It does.
Like 100%. You can just say, well, no, they're women. And maybe some of them are. I don't necessarily know. I'm not on the jury, but you can't just say Deshaun Watson's a piece of shit, sexual assault or rapist.
Absolutely. 100%.
Unless you are in that jury, hear all the facts, know everything surrounding the case, and give him a fair shot to defend himself because you just don't know.
You're right.
Like, just because there's 25 people does not mean he's guilty. Sorry. But he could be guilty. I'm not saying he's not.
What happened to you're guilty? You're not guilty until proven innocent, or you're
It
innocent
doesn't exist anymore.
until not
But
proven
I'd love to
guilty,
hear
whatever.
your take on this as a female as well. Like, how do you feel about that before we wrap up?
So, I'm a feminist. I'll say that first and foremost. But I've told many women in my life that I disagree with lying.
Yeah.
I think making false accusations is a very serious thing, especially in today's world and society. And the only way that we can be respected is to actually to speak our truths. I think that there could be two sides to truth. Sometimes we remember things in very different ways.
Yep.
I think open communication is very important. I think that if a girl or a male ever says no, that we should respect that. Because let's be real here, we can be raped on both sides. It's
absolutely.
not just women that are going through that. Males have also gone through it. But I also think, agreed, until I know facts, I was not one of the females that subjected to that. So I wish I was, because maybe I would be a millionaire right now, right? Which also proves to what Jimmy's trying to say. You do know that it's Deshaun Watson. And, you know, the numbers are alarming, but I'd like to see the case. We all know the OJ case.
Yeah.
I'll speak to that. I think he's guilty. I will always think OJ was guilty.
Yeah, but the proof that it was just, you have a better lawyer than some other, you have to prove yourself. But you know, when a long time ago, whenever it came out with Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky, right?
Right.
I was coming out of a post office and the news media was there and they came out and asked me, you know, if this was you. And of course they didn't air of what I said. I'm like, I'm sucking the dick of the president.
They had no idea who they were talking to yet.
You think I'd be saying something? No, I'm not. You know, that's just,
Hope.
but that's how I think, that's how I thought at that time. What I'm saying is,
I think a lot of
women,
people.
I don't want people to have this misconception of that women are not guilty of things, because we absolutely are guilty of things. You know, do I have my psycho moments? Absolutely. What? Do I think about raping people? Yeah, sometimes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Cut that out.
Dallas!
She's talking about Josh, her husband.
Yeah, that too, yeah. But I'm
Hey,
just saying, like,
look.
I mean, but
Lord help you,
just
Josh.
that word alone, you know, that's about, you know, that's a bad word to some people. But you can have these thoughts and these fantasies about somebody, and it doesn't ever pass that point. You know what I mean? But then there's some people that do cross the line, and I mean,
The problem with all of it is it's what makes me sad is it's serious accusations.
It is.
And I hope that humanity's better than that than to be, which I know it's not, to falsely accusing somebody and ruining their life and everything they've worked their whole childhood to become a, you know, professional quarterback and to live out their dream, and because you want a little bit of money, you know. And I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm saying that's a scenario, and that could have been what happened. And
Yeah.
there could be people that were sexually assaulted and that weren't. And I don't know the truth. All I know is,
None of
like,
us do.
everybody deserves a chance to be heard out and hear the facts and let a jury decide. And that, let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go.
But sex sells, people.
Look, I want to thank you guys for being here today on this. I had a lot of fun. I got
Thanks
to
for
open
having us.
up and be myself a little bit and just have a good time. Doug, thank you for all you do for the show, for me, for Boots for Troops, Val Entertainment, all of us. You truly are a leader in the community when it comes to business and supporting the community, so thank you.
Here in Texas, it seems each year the weather's becoming more and more extreme. Heating, air conditioning, and refrigeration maintenance, repair and replacement can no longer be left to your run-of-the-mill contractor. In today's world, you need a company that can provide not only top-notch services, but also provide excellent customer service and is reliable, honest, and professional. Well, folks, we're here to tell you, Texas Refrigeration and AC Services, better known as TX RACS, is the company you've been looking for. Texas-born, Texas-owned. With 30-plus years of experience, TX RACS offers a full range of services for residential and commercial heating, cooling, and refrigeration. If you're looking for the best of the best to handle your preventative maintenance, which will keep your equipment operating efficiently and prevent unnecessary breakdowns. If you're looking for a company that is well trained in indoor air quality to keep your family and employees healthy and happy. If you're looking for a company with integrity, reliability, and great customer service, look no further. TX RACS has you covered. They offer a full range of air conditioning, heating, and refrigeration services, using the most up-to-date technology and training, with a mobile app to keep you informed about the arrival of your technician and the expert knowledge and experience to evaluate the quality of air you're breathing, along with always providing a live professional to take your call. TX RACS keeps Texas homes and businesses warm in the winter, cool in the summer, and keeps all of us covered with the best warranties in the business. Always on time, always dependable. Call TX RACS for all your cooling, heating, and air quality needs. TX RACS is your go-to in Texas. Always ready to rack up on satisfied customers. Call TX RACS today.
If your AC goes out this summer, please make sure you call RACS Refrigeration AC. You can find their information on the Sailor Jimmy Facebook page or Google RACS AC Refrigeration. He'll take good care of you. Tell him Sailor Jimmy referred you. And thank you guys for tuning in. I also want to shout out Scaff from North America, another one of our show sponsors. And just thank you guys for tuning in, following us, and make sure you subscribe on YouTube. We love you.
Hey,
see you next time.
Sailor Jimmy on Snapchat. on
Sailor Jimmy on TikTok.
TikTok. Yeah, there you go.
If you want to see all the funny videos of me and Beth.
Thanks, Beth.
All of us, Sailor Jimmy on TikTok. Love y'all. See you next time on the Sailor Jimmy Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Sailor Jimmy Podcast. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform so you never miss an episode. For more information or to connect with Jimmy, check us out on the web at SailorJimmy.com, on Facebook at Facebook.com/SailorJimmyTX, on Instagram at SailorJimmyTX, and on TikTok at Sailor Jimmy. We'll see you next time.